Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Game, and we are returning to Victoria 3. Last time around, we did try to improve our economy a little bit. In the meantime, a new patch has dropped, 1.1, and that will bring some changes. So the first thing I want to do is I want to bring the game over here to June and see what changes we're going to get. And it looks like the Junkers, rural folk, and evangelical church are now considered as marginalized. That's good. And I think we were suppressing the rural folk, so probably we can stop that. Speaking of, I think we can also stop bolstering the industrialists. They are boosted, I believe, ever since we enact the oligarchy thing. So that's good. That's a good change. Now, I was thinking about the economy and I was thinking about doing a lot of stuff off screen, but honestly I want to talk a little bit about what that is and how we should deal with that. So last round we did discover the rotary valve engine, and that's useful because it frees up laborers at the expense of using more coal. But you know what? It's ideal in theory to sort of do that by state and see where you have certain gaps, but you know what? We are going to do that anyway everywhere, simply because it just makes things a little bit easier and a little bit easier to handle, I guess. And then we're going to see where we really have gaps in terms of our capabilities, where we have more people who could do stuff and such. And, Jesus, okay, you know what? I want to switch that around simply so that it's not annoying me anymore. If you want to go academics at the... No, you know what? I think capitalists are still fine. Government is fine. All of that looks okay. Good. Yeah, so that should all free up some people and help us out to do a couple of things, because we have just way too many radicals here. We need to solve that a little bit. We also have the problem of the French secession, and these guys might start some stuff in the not too distant future. Right, let's also consider the stuff of... Okay, Baden, you're the only one who's not really using ceramics. So let's switch that around. What would happen if we... No, you're not actually bone china. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that looks much cleaner. That I like. Food industries. Who is not using... a couple of you guys are not using distilleries. But on the other hand, most of you are. So we're going to switch that around. Again, simply so that it's a little bit cleaner and easier to handle. Good. Okay, let's look at what all of this did to our markets and to our balances here. Okay, so first of all, we have a lot of fabric left over, and I think one of the nice things is we can now see the trade routes here. We are importing quite a lot of that from France. Now, France is one of the areas where we want to keep going, but on the other hand, this is really not that great because the price differential is just not that great. So we need, we have around 2,000 too much. There's around 3,000, but if we cancel that, we can probably get better stuff from somewhere else. Ooh, look at some of that. That's really juicy. Right. Well, Russia, it's not the ideal place, but it is kind of a good one. And the amount really matches up nicely. We would not be using any convoys for that, which is another bonus. We could get some from China too, which I suppose isn't the worst, but you know what? Let's buy from Russia. Not ideal, but you know what? It's going to be alright. Good. We are also currently buying some silk. Can we get more? No, not really. But what I do think that what we can do is some places should have, and I'm guessing, you know what? Didn't we have some over here? Some textile mills? Yeah, you guys. If you were to produce craftsman sewing, you'd be using a little bit of silk. It seems like it's too much, but I think it might be okay over time with the imports. So let's try to solve that too. Balance. Iron, we are currently importing some from Sweden. We certainly don't need to do that. So that's a-okay. Ammunition, seems like we have a bit of a... That was a shortage, right? No, that's a surplus. Okay, fine. We are exporting stuff all over the place, which is a-okay. Yeah, I like that. Fertilizer, we still have a surplus here, 150 units. So let's again look at our buildings and specifically the rural stuff. That's a lot of fertilizer that we'd be using. So maybe switch around a smaller one. Saxony 15. Yeah, that about uses all of our fertilizer, so that's good. It's not that clean because we have that symbol here, which I really hate, indicating that stuff is being treated differently, which again, you know, we're just going to need to live with that. Good. Okay, that is solving at least a couple of things. So let's just briefly pause and unpause here. We could try to push iron abroad, but honestly I think we're going to build up more steel factories and such, so that's probably going to be alright. Let's look at our deficits. Coal, clothing, and services. Now services is interesting. We can only improve services, and we also need more explosives. Didn't we build stuff in Bavaria? Did I just see that Bavaria has too little infrastructure? Yes, I did. So you need at least 2 more railways. Let's build them and prioritize them. Yeah, chemical plants. You guys are hiring people. So you are going to get us at least 1,000 more explosives. That sounds like a good idea. We're also going to get more fertilizer over time there. Should be perfectly fine. Good. What else then? Fabric is now at a slight disadvantage here, but I think that's okay. And some of the trade routes, I suppose, for the export stuff from France, that's going to be cancelled anyway, so that's going to be okay. Yeah, so midterm, we're going to need more tools, more coal. These are things that should be doable. Now, in terms of coal, we are building some in Silesia. That's going to be okay. We do have a little bit of authority left, so let's drop a road maintenance on that, and let's drop one on Hanover too, because we are building some power plants here. And I suppose in terms of coal mines, North Rhine maybe? You don't have that many people, but you have at least some, so let's build that up to level 50, I think is a good choice. Right, and infrastructure, that's probably not going to be enough, so another railway here is also going to be a good choice. Good, and since we have so much authority, I'm going to do road maintenance down here too, because that at least is going to be helpful to build, I think. Denmark is embargoing us. That's surprising, but okay, I suppose. And a lot of stuff is being re-established here, like import routes for some of these things. That's okay. You guys are doing okay. Can we do more with the intelligentsia here? If you were a little bit more happy, we would be getting immigration attraction. Can we get that? I think in the budget, if we increase on forces approval, no, that's not what I meant. This down here, intelligentsia approval, that would increase cost by 65,000. We've got that kind of money, and if that brings you over 10, I'd be really happy. Oh, it doesn't. Yeah, I was thinking a little bit too prestige, petite bourgeoisie. Well, it's kind of okay to have that kind of money, so let's try to do it this way. I think it will also improve some of the standard of living and such. Ooh, Saxony. Extreme force. Police officers in Saxony. Well, law enforcement -1 isn't that bad. If we can get more approval by the rural folk, we don't care about that. And by the intelligentsia, which we do care about. Okay, yeah, let's do that. And then we go over to politics and institutions. Oh, we can't afford that right now. We're going to be able to afford that soon, I think. Some of these places are probably still not incorporated yet, but they are going to be soon. So after that, we can immediately switch around. Backroom dealings exposed, so we are not advancing here, and in fact, things aren't that great. We could get a negative modifier there. No. I think we're going to go with Cecilia Schmidt, because we really don't like her anyway. I think she's the leader of the trade unions, isn't she? Yeah, and she's a vanguardist, which really I hate. That's just like a really bad trait, because she is against any type of voting, basically. And so we would like to get the trade unions to like us a little bit more. There's that really sweet modifier of 10% manufacturing indices throughput. Brilliant. That makes everyone so much richer. And then we've got the workforce ratio. It would be so great to get these things, but for now we don't. Okay, and it seems like Alsace-Lorraine, the French down there, are seceding. Now that's not great, because I would like France to be allied to us. And currently they just aren't. So we're going to mobilize you. We're going to send you down here. We're going to mobilize you. We're going to send you down here. And that should be okay. Right, so let's talk about the situation and how it develops. France currently considered us as... They want to reconcile with us. They see us as a mistaken enemy, and I like that. Austria, which would be the historical choice, right? Reconciliation with Austria, get that sort of pan-German feeling, and be standing in the world with sort of a similar mindset. Now, these guys are Kaiserreich. We are sort of switching around a little bit. They are tied to their version of the Junkers, but I don't think that's viable. They see us as a natural enemy. They see us as military threatening. They have, of course, the rivalry. They've got the hostile relations. I think it's not easy to overcome that. And if we look at the diplomacy here, if they are one of our biggest enemies who's likely to drag us into fights, it's worthwhile to see what their rivalries are. They're rivaled against France and the United Kingdom. They also have pretty pro relations with Russia, surprisingly, even though they supported them, and they are tied closely to Italy. Interesting sort of setup. So we could try to go for Austria, for the Russians. They are rivaled against the French. They are rivaled against us, so again, not that great. On the other hand, France rivaled against Austria. Sounds good, but they're also rivaled against sort of everyone else. So, an interesting setup. Nevertheless, I think being allied to France is probably going to be a good way forward. Let's see whether the French are going to support that uprising here, or anyone else for the matter. But it might be a tough one. But yeah, for now, no one else is joining. People could be joining on either side, because most of them will have an interest in the German region. But the one thing that's speaking against France is they are number 1. We are considered number 2 globally. But I do believe we can get better. Okay, we have a little bit of influence left over. Let's see whether we can improve with anyone that we'd want to improve with. I'm guessing Sweden is going to be a good long-term target. United States. Can we bankroll anyone? Would that make sense? Maybe some of the smaller nations. Yeah, I don't think so. How about down here? Yeah, but I don't think it would be possible to integrate them properly. We'd really need to take them over as sort of our guys. So yeah, no. Right, let's see. Yes, we are in civil war, but that's only the French down here. We should easily be able to overwhelm them. Well, I say that, and that's probably going to completely jinx it. Oh, Spain is considering us their rival. That's not nice. Okay, French uprising has broken out. Doesn't seem like anyone is supporting them, so hopefully we'll be able to crush them. Hopefully easily. Yeah, there will be a couple of dead on either side, which means both of them are, of course, on our side, which is not great. Yeah, around 2,000 dead, 10,000 wounded or so. Yeah, but on the other hand, we've occupied everything, so let's try to get peace here. I would accept that. No party agrees to that. No, we agree to that. Sometimes I don't get how that mechanic is supposed to work. Right, loot literature. Enactment chance, but less prestige. Yes, sure. I like enactment chance. The prestige, I really don't care about that much. We're not on the verge of becoming a small or large power, so it's going to be alright. We are starting to see that everything has been built that we're currently needed to build. So again, let's look at the marketplaces and stuff that we really need. Yeah, well, there is steel, but I don't think we need it technically. Arts Academy, you are making serious money. You're also building services, and we've got still a deficit here. You know what? Let's build 2 of these guys. Sure. I do want to continue building that. Chemical plants? You guys are surprisingly unprofitable. Okay, we've got 600 too much fertilizer. We've got too little sulfur, too little coal, too little iron. Well, I think iron is something that we are producing in Alsace. Saxony, you can probably build a little bit more of that. We don't have a lot of peasants in any of these places, but sometimes it just doesn't show the unemployed. No market access? Westphalia. Let's drop road maintenance there. And come on, Alsace must rejoin us. Hopefully fairly quickly. Yeah, there we go. Fantastic. Very lovely indeed. Let's have that tick a couple of times here. Yeah, you guys need to come back to your workplaces. Have you got all of the good stuff? No, you have not. Okay, that's stupid. Right. There are a lot of arms industries here. Tooling. You know what? I think ultimately these barracks are not doing us any good. Let's prevent any uprisings from happening here again. And let's try to get rid of any stuff here that's really not that profitable. That works. Steel mills didn't work. Iron mines. Yeah, you guys are not using the best stuff at all. Logging camps, are you at least using good stuff? No, you're not. It's really unfortunate that whenever you conquer something, they sort of don't use that correctly. I think it should set it up in a way that they basically do the same thing as all of your other nations if you support them accordingly. We are making a lot of money. Why? We're not building enough. That's it. Oh, and apologies for the noise there. That was not your phone. That was mine. I'm going to switch that off immediately. Right. Okay, now we don't have any civil war anymore. That means I can actually take a look at some of these buildings and see whether they're still profitable, whether there's anything we can do about that. Urban, you guys should now all be fine. Rotary Revolve. Mechanized, you all look good. Chemical plants, you okay. Motor industries, yeah, let's switch you around. Arms industries, you guys are sort of a mixed bag, really. Market squares, please. Government admin, yes. Yeah, sometimes that's easy after conquering stuff. Logging camps, you're alright there for the moment. And rye farms, I'm guessing we're going to push more fertilizer into you. That means the price for wheat is actually going to drop. But oh my, I think that's okay. Like Posen, for example, if you were to search around here, how much more fertilizer would you need? Only 300. You know what? Let's just switch around like that. And let's look at the market, and more importantly, let's look at the chemical industry here. What is that going to do in Bavaria here? Yeah, prices are much more stable now. But 20%, 20%, it's all of the input prices are extremely expensive. Alsace is only starting to rehire people here in the iron mines. And the wheat farms and everything else. The tooling workshops are so profitable. But honestly, you know what? These small arms factories, we're going to drop these guys. We're going to fire all of them. And they're going to be shuffling around to other places. We do have a little bit of authority, so I'm actually going to also go ahead here and encourage, promote social mobility. That should help out a little bit with getting these people into the jobs where they need to be working, really. Yeah. There's a little bit of devastation here, but it should be okay. Right, we can still build a lot more things, so let's continue to do that, really. For example, clothing. Hesse, how are you guys doing? You've got us around 60,000 unemployed, which is not a lot. But I'm guessing we need a second place to be manufacturing clothing. We're using so much of that. Württemberg, you've got a couple of textile mills. Curiously, you guys don't get enough people to work in your shop. Steel is expensive, coal is expensive, and tools are expensive. You know what? We just need to help out all of our other industries, so let's look at tooling here. Got a couple of places, but I'm guessing Brandenburg is going to get another 5 there. Württemberg, you're going to get another 3. You've got a couple of peasants here to really build that up, so you know what? Let's build that up to 20. Let's go 30. We're going to need that anyway. We can be fairly sure of that. It will mean more steel, more coal. Wood is fine. Surprised actually that we are getting so much wood. Are we importing that? Yes, we are. 5,000. Got an overhang of around 2,000. We could get it from Sweden or Switzerland. Yeah. It's alright-ish, I guess. How much power are we producing? Yeah, we should break even soon, so we should be able to switch over to electric source in a couple of places. Like, for example, I think Baden we have that, yeah. And Württemberg, you guys also should be able to do this. Yeah, we'll require a little bit more, but it means we have more wood. Which means we can probably turn off the imports from Russia at some point. Right, more coal mines. Aniline unlocked. Lovely. Let's go directly into art silk. But that's great. Okay, let's look at this new industry, and I want to build that up slowly, but still in a place where it has a lot of potential. Like, for example, Franconia. Congratulations, you're going to be the first to get this stuff here. Westphalia and Hanover can get rid of this stuff. And there is low market access, actually, in Westphalia. And in Alsace. Okay, that is... Wait a minute. That's probably because people are not working the railway, is it? No, it's not. Okay, let's build that up then. When we have a transportation shortage. Why? Doesn't look like it. Why would that count as a shortage? No, it doesn't. Really weird. Not sure what that was about. Okay, there we go. You guys, by the way, since I'm building so much more factories here, I potentially should be building up the infrastructure a little bit. Better be safe than sorry. Kaiser intervenes. That's generally not a good thing. Intelligentsia. You're happy. You're kind of at a level where it would be great to get you over that. Enactment success chance plus 20%. That's good. Not good enough. Yeah, that's unfortunate. It will wear off, but I'm hoping that we can get them over that threshold. Money. We're actually looking so fine that I think we might want to go down a little bit on the taxes here. We might actually go to normal. Yeah, it means we are earning a lot less, but it should also help us with the radical problem here quite a bit. I'm hoping at least that is what it's going to happen here. Right, we are still building enough stuff. We do have a little bit of money. I do want to build up a little bit of a war chest, but I still, of course, want to continue to build up all of that. Capturing lights and shadows, that's nice. Technology spread, migration attraction. Film. No, I think migration attraction is the best choice here. Yeah, we are still building stuff. Always a good thing to do. How about more coal? Because I think just coal is it's going to continue to be like the most important thing that we can get. So Silesia, you've built that up to the best level that you can. And I'm guessing North Rhine, you don't have enough people to work this. Unless, of course, the urban center can be improved. Public trams. Less laborers in total will require more transportation. Let's do it. You could be working these logging camps. The textile mills are super useful. Yeah. The unfortunate bit is that the arms industries here curiously enough, are not that profitable. Yeah, but the tooling workshops should help sort of everywhere in the entire economy. Relations are kind of okay with everyone that we would want them to be okay. Except, of course, Russia. Austria. I think we have a truce for 2 years. Uruguay. We don't care about that much. Preserve censorship. You guys are sort of middle radicalists. Ooh, but look at that. Number of radicals is dropping readily, and that's mostly due to standards of living, so that's good. Very good to see. Unproductive trade routes. Exporting furniture. Well, I suppose we can drop that. What would the game recommend in terms of export and import stuff? Got a surplus of grain. Iron, that's I think mostly due to the fact that we're not producing enough. And still fertilizer. It's kind of expensive to send stuff there. But on the other hand, it will make everyone a little bit happier in our economy. So, why not, I suppose? Okay. Right, what else? So, still explosives. Of course, tools. Even though we are producing a lot. But that is going to change over time. Food industries just doesn't seem to be that profitable. Textile mills are still incredibly profitable all over the place. As are steel mills, though. And Alsace. Yeah, we don't have enough people here. Unless, of course, in the urban center we can go for public trams. Baden, your motor industries, really not that productive. Which is really kind of surprising. Yeah, well, on balance we have more demand, so could try to fulfill that. Lots of rye farms down here. Not that many people unemployed. Or peasants. Do we see big clusters of unemployed? No. So it really comes mostly down to peasants. So if we sort by available peasants, that is kind of it. Bavaria still has 100,000 people who could be working in different stuff. Chemicals. I think it's resources. It's resources kind of all the way. And continues to be coal and sulfur. Silesia, you actually do have peasants left over, so let's produce a little bit more sulfur here. And make always sure that we have enough infrastructure. There we go. But also coal. Problem is, well, only the Rhineland has the nice positive modifier. North Rhine 2. Okay, let's build some in the Rhineland. Market access. Alsace and 99%, but that's going to become better. Expensive government goods. Coal, of course, coal. Overzealous censorship. Yeah, success chance is getting better though. But these guys are becoming more radical, and that's not good. That's not good at all. Yeah, we're going to make life a little bit better for you. We've got a lot of money on our hands, even though we're building stuff. Including mostly synthetic plants here. Infrastructure should really be enough to support all that. Well, we're only building one for now. What are you going to produce specifically? So, 80 dye If you're actually going to use fertilizer, that's brilliant, and sulfur, which is not that brilliant. What's our sort of dye shortage? Nothing at all, actually. That's because mostly we are exporting stuff. And I'm guessing that the glassworks are one of the main users of dyes net. We can check that. Who's using that? Oh, come on. Glassworks and textile mills. And paper mills to a lower extent. How's paper looking in our market? We have too little. Can probably do with a little bit more paper. What's actually our industrial centers for that? Brandenburg? Well. Württemberg? Why not? Let's produce more paper in Württemberg. Guessing another railway is never a bad idea. But also textile mills. Didn't we build some in Baden or just around here? No, I think I just thought about that, but we didn't really, right? That was the initial starting point. Silesia, you've got a lot of peasants there. And Württemberg. East Prussia, these northern territories. Franconia, Bavaria. What else could Bavaria be producing? It could become another place for glassworks or tooling industry. Yeah, we've got coal mines down here. They're not that crucial, are they? Let's go for a bit more construction sectors down here. I think that's always a good choice, especially when you're making that much money. Yeah, and look at the investment pool. It is changing positively there, so that's a sure sign they should try to do a little bit more there. Right, let's also consider our interest groups here. So it looks like the industrialists are pretty nice. Are we boosting them? No, we are not. So, but they're still above 20%. That's good. Intelligentsia, are we boosting you? No, but I'm guessing we could. That would also make us a little bit more likely to enact that. And honestly, the trade unions would be nice to get above that too. On the other hand, I'm just now noticing that you guys, the church, is becoming more powerful again. As are the rule folks. And the petite bourgeoisie. We are gonna roll with that for now. We have very few authority here, but that's okay. But you know what? I think now is a good place to put in a cut. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you around next time. Bye bye.